Up? All right. Welcome to the temple. Welcome to the sanctuary. You don't have to worry, just come on in. Welcome to the presence. Welcome to the family. No, you don't have to hesitate. Just come on in. Come on in and sit down. I saw you peeking at the window. I bet you're wondering just what's going on. So quit your sneaking around. This is where you belong. So open up the doors now. Welcome to the temple. Welcome to the sanctuary. You don't have to worry, just come on in. Welcome to the presence. Welcome to the family. You know you don't have to hesitate. Just come on in. Come on in and sit down.
Now did you notice all the love around you? And did you hear all the voices raised in song? I hope you get yourself dancing and singing along. So let your body move now. Welcome to the temple. Welcome to the sanctuary. You don't have to worry, just come on in. Welcome to the presence. Welcome to the family. You know you don't have to hesitate. Just come on in. Come on in and get down
To the beat now.
Come on, welcome, come on in. Welcome, welcome, come on in. Welcome,
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 come on in.
come on in.
Welcome,
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 come on in.
come on in.
Welcome,
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 come on in.
come on in.
Welcome, welcome, come on in.
Welcome to the
welcome,
temple.
welcome, come on in.
Welcome to the sanctuary.
Welcome, come on in. Welcome,
welcome,
come on in.
welcome to the temple. Yeah, yeah. Come on in and sit down.
Sit yourself down.
Cool. You all know this one. You're gonna sing along with us. When the world gets you down and you're feeling lonely, when you can't find your truth or find your center, there are many here who gather together. Oh, unconditionally, we love each other, and the scars that you see just make it stronger. We breathe it in together. We'll hold you up with grace. We know that love lives here in you and me. Love lives here. My soul breaks free. I'm so excited to be united with you. Where love
lives here.
Where love
lives here.
When life gets you down, you can't see the future. When it all seems too much for you to handle, there are many here who gather together. Oh, unconditionally, we pray together, and the hurt that you feel will be set free. We breathe it in together. We'll hold you up with grace. You know that love lives here in you and me. Love lives here. My soul breaks free. I'm so excited to be united with you. Where love
lives here.
Where
love lives here.
Love lives here in you and me. Love lives here. My soul breaks free. We're so excited to be united with you. Where love lives here. Where love lives here. Love lives here. Good morning.
Miahuen, Neto Reverend Jeffrey Ryan. We here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living acknowledge that we gather on the ancestral lands of the Cahuilla, Gabrielino Tongva, Kizh, and Luiseño peoples. We commit to live in right relations, to seek justice and loving kindness, and to walk humbly upon this land. We recognize our oneness so that we may decolonize our minds and set each other free from the pain of racism and violence, to live better as God intended in harmony and with nature and with one another. So once again, good morning. I am Reverend Jeffrey Ryan. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to serve this beloved community, Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, where love lives here. Yes, great. Great to see all of you joining us here this morning in the sanctuary. For those of you in the sanctuary, I do invite you to make sure that your cell phones are silenced as we begin this morning. And for those of you joining us at home, it's great to have, or wherever you are in the world, it's great to have you with us this morning. Good morning, Mom and Dad in Vegas. Good morning, Pat. Good morning, Shawnee. She's up at Green Valley Lake this morning. And good morning to Earl and Denise. They're right there at home, and so is Reverend Victoria. So great to have you with us. And good morning to Lupe and John. Great to have you with us this morning as well. Good to see everybody. It's great to have you here. We are already in October. I do not know where this year is going. We say that every month, but even more so. Wow, we were out shopping yesterday and all of the Christmas stuff is out, and Ed's like, ooh, Christmas. I'm like, ooh, it's not Halloween yet. So at any rate, here we are in the month of October. So that means that because it is the very first Sunday in October, any birthday babies, any October birthdays, go ahead and please stand up or identify yourselves online. All right, Max. All right. So, we need piano so Drew Bell can sing to you. There we go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Max. And everybody in October, happy birthday to you.
Wonderful. Happy birthday, Max. And anybody celebrating an anniversary this month? Anybody online celebrating an anniversary this month? No? October might be a different kind of month to get married? I don't know. So I had a couple friends get married in October. Oh, here we go. Oh, yes. All right. There we go. Shawnee and Marilyn, 29 years. Congratulations, Shawnee and Marilyn. Yes. Wonderful. 29 years of wedded bliss. That's fantastic. So congratulations to the two of you. Yeah, I had other friends that got married on Halloween, and so they had a whole, they got married in a graveyard and, spider dresses, and it was amazing. So at any rate, all right, so let's get started this morning, shall we, with a little moving and grooving and shaking and singing, and spirit is in this place. Here we go.
As we are, we have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place.
salvation.
We sing with words of prayer. Oh, we affirm our life is sacred. We declare that peace is here. Oh, Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Yeah, 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 yeah. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. All right.
Woohoo! I also want to say good morning, Michael. I see you're online too, and you're here. Hi, how are you? Good morning. And then, I want to wish Christine and Tammy a happy anniversary as well. They've been together 27 years and legally married 7 years on October 15th. So congratulations to Christine and Tammy. And hola, querida. Doris Soriano is joining us. Hi, Doris. I love you. All right. Now we'll let you sing. Here we go.
Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Oh, wonderful Spirit.
Good morning. I'm Dinah Williams, one of your licensed spiritual practitioners here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. Practitioner Jeannie Kataoka and I will be available after service for a brief moment of prayer in the prayer room located in the lobby. Please don't leave this morning with anything on your heart. We would love to pray with you and absolutely know that prayer works. Please join me in consciousness. In Jeannie's meditation this morning, she said, we're diving into community, the divine community. So let's dive in. Let's dive into that one life that is ever present, ever growing, ever glowing. It is all love, all peace, all joy. all wisdom. It is all the good that there is. It's all the God that there is. It's everything and everyone. And since I know that all this good, all this joy and wisdom and God is everything, I am made from that stuff too. I am that too. I am that, and so is everyone, everywhere, not just within the sound of my voice, everywhere. Today I know that each person that is here by divine appointment, in divine community. I know that the message that is spoken is divinely led, and I know that all is divinely on point, on purpose, and exactly opening and happening as it should be, as it needs to be for each and every one of us. I know this time together is deeply, beautifully, joyously blessed. Blessed from that wellspring that is the one life, the one love that is within each and every one of us. And I just let this be so. And together we say, and so it is.
When I look in your eyes, I see the beloved looking back at me. When I stand next to you, I can feel the beloved in you. You are in my soul. You are my inspiration. With you in my heart, I'm never alone. We are one. There is no separation. When I rest in you, I am home. When I touch your heart, I feel the beloved touching me. When I open my heart, open to the beloved in you. You are in my soul. You are my inspiration. With you in my heart, I am never alone. We are one. There is no separation. When I rest in you, I am home. When I touch your heart, I feel the beloved touching me. When I open my heart to the beloved in you. To the beloved in you. To the beloved in you. Beloved in you. Beloved in you.
Thank you, Jabel. Thank you, Jeff. Beautiful. I love the harmonies. I'm just like, I'm just sitting over there blissed out at the moment. So, nice deep breath in. Hi. Good morning. All right. So let us say our focus statement this morning, shall we? As we always do at this time, let's start with that. All right, 1, 2, 3. We embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. Yes, wonderful. Thank you. So here at Centers for Spiritual Living Worldwide, we are working with a theme this year of evolutionary vision, evolutionary vision, timeless wisdom. It's been 10 months. I ought to have it, right? Evolutionary vision, timeless wisdom. Now I just screwed it up. All right, you know what we're working with, right? So, and this month, we are working with the theme of going further together, going further together. Remember that this whole year, basically operating in the background of the themes for this year has been this upward spiraling journey of unfoldment where we come back and as we spiral, we revisit a few things and then we revisit it at a more expansive level, but also at a deeper level. And so we just continue to climb and we continue to move upward on the spiral. And so this month is going further together. So if you think of it as a spiritual journey that we've been traveling on this year, it is going further together. So this month, we are really diving into what it means to be part of a community and what it means to be in community with one another. So today we are talking about the divine community. And I want to thank Jeannie for her beautiful meditation this morning, in which she brought in Don Miguel Ruiz's The Four Agreements and how important the Four Agreements are when we're in community, how important they are when we're even just walking in the world individually, but how important they are when we are in community with one another. So being impeccable with your word, don't take things personally, don't make assumptions, because we know what happens when we make assumptions, right? Big old donkey's tail, right? So don't make assumptions. And then always do your best. And what a great way to approach being together in community. So I wanted to talk first about what it looks like to be in community, or what community really is. When we look at community, community comes from Latin communitas, which means common. And it's the noun of being common or having something in common. So when we look at being in community, and we also see the unity in there, what we can see is that there is a common unity, there's a common universality, there's a common purpose, there's a common interest, there's a common intentionality that brings a group of people together in community, that we gather together with a common goal, a common purpose, a common understanding, if you will, that we gather together to experience one another and to experience life together in some way, even if it's just for a brief moment of time. But this is a common unity. I love when I see the word community and it says COMM and then the big word underneath it or to the side of it, like really focusing on the unity piece of it, the oneness piece of it, because we do gather because of oneness. Yes, we gather because there is something within us that is attracted to and attracting people who share something that we have in common. Now, whether that's Bill and his golf foursome, right? Or us being in spiritual community, or a theater group, right? That each one is a community with some common ideals or common purposes or common interest. And so it forms a community. And then the way we show up in community is that we realize that when we are in community, when we are with one another, that there are certain agreements that we have with one another to maintain our community. And that's what speaks back to those four agreements, that there are perhaps those four agreements, or there are other agreements of how it is that we gather together. What is the structure that we gather in? How do we do it? When do we do it? Why do we do it? And then how do we interact with one another based upon that? so that we are coming together in community, in relationship with one another. So then when we look at what it means to be the divine community, what I'd like for you to do in this moment is just take a brief moment just to close your eyes for a second. And I want you to think back to when you first came to realize, or when you first recognized, or when you first felt that this spiritual community, right where you are, whether you're online or whether you're here in the room, that this spiritual community resonated with you. That, and perhaps it's today, right? Or perhaps it's years ago. But what was it, or what is it about this spiritual community and this faith tradition? What is it about this spiritual community that really resonates within your soul? Because if it's just about fellowship, well, I know that Bill experiences fellowship on the golf course with his foursome. I know that we can go and paint, or we can sing in a band, or we can do any other kinds of things where we have fellowship. So it's something that's beyond fellowship. It's something that's beyond the people. What is it that even before you really knew people in the community, even before that, what is it that really resonated with you? What is that thing? What is that truth? What is that thing that called you to be here and to return here on a regular basis? And here is in the sanctuary, and here is online, but here is in the community. What is it that called you to choose, because it's a choice, to choose to participate? There are other things you could do with your Sunday. Like last week, Mike at SoFi Stadium. Right? Fine. But there are other things we could be doing with this time. So what is it within you that said, this is how I'm going to spend this time on a regular basis on Sunday mornings? And this is where I'm going to spend this time. How does that feel? You remember? Yeah. So Christine online says love. Anybody else? What was it? Truth. Grounded. Acceptance. Home. Ohana, family. What? Foundation. Right? That there is this within us. There is that peace within us, within our souls, at the soul level, at the spiritual level, that resonated and continues to resonate with a community of other beloveds who are resonating with the same things. We're resonating with truth and oneness and family and acceptance and home and love and being grounded, being present. And that is why we choose to come together in a divine community. A divine community is a spiritual community, that we come together in this divine community to celebrate and to support and to be one with each other and to interact with each other and to support each other and to help each other grow and to inspire each other and to encourage each other. Yes? This is why we come together. And Reverend Victoria says, spiritual growth in community and practicing love. She wanted to practice this in community because that's the other thing too, right? All of the things that you said, for the most part, all of the things that you've said, that you've shared so far, you could do that at home by yourself on the meditation cushion. And I see some heads shaking. No, I couldn't, right? Because there's something about being in community, right, Sally? There's something about being in community. Even the master teacher says, where two or more are gathered, I am in the midst of thee. I am in the midst. Because when there are two or more gathered in like-minded consciousness or gathered together for a purpose, there creates 1 + 1 actually equals 3. It's the triune nature, right? 1 + 1 = 3. That's why when we talk about marriage or we talk about conscious union in that way, that it's 1 + 1 is 3. It's not just Ed and I. It's Ed and I, but it's also our relationship. It's also spirit. The plus is spirit between us, right? It is also spirit. It is something that is greater than its individual parts. So we come together in community to be able to have these conversations, to be able to have this connection with one another, to help each other support, give each other support and encouragement and inspiration that we couldn't find necessarily in our own solitary practice. And we also hold each other accountable too, right? And accountable isn't really like going, oh, you didn't do this, right? Accountability is witnessing somebody standing in their own integrity, standing in their own agreements. It's a witnessing. It's not a right? It's not a taking attendance, if you will, and saying, oh, you didn't. Right? You have an excuse from your mom? Right? No. So these are all part of showing up in community, but then also part of being in community then is we choose to be here. So then we also have the opportunity then, because we choose to be here, then we've also chosen to be responsible. We've chosen to be responsible for our community, for our gathering, to show up in right relationship with one another. We are choosing to participate, to uplift one another. We are choosing to do this together, because if we didn't want to do it together, we could still be at home, not even watching online, right? And so together as a community, we make the community happen. We together have responsibility for the community. We together have the opportunity to make community happen, to continue to flourish and grow. And so we as a community, this gathering of people who have said yes to being present here, to gathering here, to have agreements with one another of how we show up, we as a community embolden people to live their highest potential. We as a community transform through the power of love. We as a community help others to transform their lives, to live their highest potential, to transform their lives. How do we do that? We do that through the power of love. We as a community choose to say, you know what? I'm going to live my highest potential. I'm going to do what's necessary for me to live my highest potential. I'm going to take responsibility and say yes to my life, yes to what I have agreed to, and fulfill those commitments, to be present with and recognize that I've said yes to something that is even greater than I am, that I am deriving benefit from it. And because I am deriving benefit from it, I want to be a beneficial presence in it and to it. I choose to give. I choose to serve. I choose to come to this place as the power and presence of love and be that for one another. And I know that Douglas Ray is doing that for me. I know that James is doing that for me as well. I know that Leslie is doing that for us, all of us as well. Each one of us shows up as the power and the presence of love for one another. Because what we recognize here, because you also have a choice of where you do this on Sundays, right? And you've chosen Center for Spiritual Living. You've chosen this faith, you've chosen this philosophy. So what makes that different for you? Why this faith? Why this philosophy? Acceptance, oneness earlier, right? There's that oneness. There, we recognize that there is only one, that spirit is all that there is nothing else other than spirit or God, whatever you choose to call it. There is only this one power, this one presence. There's only one. That's what we affirm. That's what we know. That's what we believe. And therefore, if there is only one, then everyone is an expression and an emanation and an impartation of this one life. Everyone is the divine made manifest. Everyone is spirit. Everyone is the beloved that Jubel and Jeff just sang about. When I look in your eyes, I see the beloved. I see the beloved looking back at me. That principle of namaste, that I recognize the divine within you and the divine within you. The divine within me recognizes the divine within you, and vice versa. That we recognize the spirit, we recognize the life of one another. And in so doing, we come together to support each other through that. Because sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm not feeling very spiritual. Sometimes it's hard to remind myself, or it's hard to remember on some days. It's hard to get up and remember. It's like, oh yeah, right. I too am the divine. And oh right, this too is the divine in action with whatever it is. And so we turn to one another, say, you know, Allison, I'm struggling today. Allison goes, I see you. I love you. I know who you are. And I know the truth of this situation. We all need that kind of support. Ernest Holmes had a practitioner. So if you think you don't need a practitioner, Ernest Holmes had a practitioner. The founder of Centers for Spiritual Living, the founder of religious science, the author of Science of Mind, the one who assembled all of this together. He had a practitioner that he saw on a regular basis because even he was like, you know, Ventura, some days it's just not possible. And so he turned to his practitioner, and his practitioner, Ventura Papke, reminded him, saw the truth for him, called him to his higher self. Right? I have a question for you, and I want you to do this somewhat slowly so that I can write these things down. Hold on. Beautiful, Michael. So I want to ask you this question, and popcorn it slowly because I do want to be able to capture it. When you think about a beloved friend, first of all, just think about a beloved friend. I assume you have a beloved friend, a dear friend. Yes. So when you think about a beloved friend, what are the qualities of a beloved friend. What makes a beloved friend a beloved friend? Compassion, trust, humor, empathy, listener, can make grilled cheese sandwiches. Awesome. What's that? A nice critic. Okay. Here we have acceptance, love, honesty. Morning, Dr. Naima. Dr. Naima also shares honesty. Listens, yes. Anything else? Safe. Say more about safe. Because safe is one of those words that it's easy to kind of hide behind. So I'd like to hear more about what's safe. What do you mean by safe? So you can be authentic. Okay. Authentic. Available. Vulnerable. Yes. Respectful. Present. Dependable. They encourage you, right? Support. I thought I saw comradeship, camaraderie. Comradeship, yep. All right. Okay, I think we've got a good list here. That's what a beloved friend is. And so all of those qualities that you have just shared here and brought and spoke into the room, we recognize that in order for you to recognize or for you to know that this is what you seek in a friend, or this is what you admire in a friend, or this is a quality that you value in a friend, a beloved friend, then it's also a quality that we have within ourselves, yes? Sometimes we don't always amplify that, right? And then also, if it's in each one of us is bringing this to the table, these qualities to the table, then it also would stand to reason that, wherever we go, there we are, right? And so wherever we go, compassion is, or trust is, right? So these things reside within us. So therefore, it must reside within the community as well, because we're showing up together in community, yes? All right. So I'd like you to close your eyes once again for just a moment here. And I'm going to read you a series of statements. I just want you to see how these land with you. We admire these in friends. So let's look at this here. I am compassionate with myself. I am compassionate with my community. I trust myself. I trust my community. I'm able to find humor in myself. I'm able to find humor in my community. I have empathy for myself. I have empathy for my community. I'm a good listener. I listen to my community well. I call myself higher. I lovingly call myself higher, and I lovingly call my community higher. I accept myself. I accept my community. I love myself. I love my community. I am honest with myself. I am honest with my community. I am authentic with myself. I am authentic with my community. I am available to myself. I am available to my community. I am respectful of myself. I am respectful of my community. I am dependable. I am dependable in my community. I am present with myself. I am present in my community. I encourage myself. I encourage my community. I support myself. I support my community. And just breathe that in. And out. And you can come back to this time and space. Did you notice that some were easier to say or to affirm, or when they resonated in your body? Some were like, oh yeah, ooh, that feels good. Oh yeah, that's delicious. I'm solid with that one. And maybe there were some others like, ooh, yeah, maybe not yet. Oh, maybe that's I don't know about that one, right? So those places where you might have felt that, oh, I don't know about that one, right? That's where the work is. That's where the growth opportunity is. If there was something that you're like, ooh, right? What that is that's coming up into your awareness right now for your growth, for your expansion. To say, that one was hard for me. Ooh, that was a bitter pill to swallow. I almost choked on that one, right? That one is the one to look at. That's the one where our spiritual work resides, where we can break through individually and collectively. That's the opportunity to really breathe in and breathe love, and then get support. Get support. Look at all the beloveds seated around you or there at home. Look at all the names there in the chat. There are people here, there are practitioners here, there are congregants here who are ready and willing and eager to support you, because we show up in what? Community, as the divine community, as the beloved community. Excuse me. So one of those things, if there's one of those things or more than one of those things Dinah and Jeannie are going to be in the prayer room just outside the sanctuary doors here to the right. They're going to be in the prayer room immediately following service. Go see them, receive prayer, and say, hey, I really want to work through this, or I want to release this. Can you help me, or will you help me to do this? Will you see the truth for me as I begin to work through this? As I begin to let this go, as I begin to bring the power of love to this and transform. Because my beloveds, that's how we as the divine community, doing our individual work, but doing our individual work as community, embolden each other to live our highest potential, is how we transform through the power of love. That's who we are. That's what we're called to be. And so it is. All right. So I invite our practitioners and our core council to please stand and surround the sanctuary. Excuse me. All right, so let's just come together in consciousness now, shall we? So I invite you to turn within. Recognizing that there is just one spirit, one life, one power, one infinite, eternal presence that is all, through all, as all. I recognize that there is just the oneness, there is just the unity that is love, that is peace, that is joy, that is the presence itself. It is consciousness. It is the ground of all being. It is the substance and the supply. It is the one, infinite, eternal, always and forever expressing through itself, as itself, in itself. And so I know that all of life, all of creation is one with this one. Each atom, each molecule, each person, everything, seen and unseen, is one with this one, because there is no thing else. There is no other substance from which this anything could be brought forth other than the substance of the divine, other than the substance of the one life itself. And so I recognize that I am one with the one, that the very who of who I am is the divine made manifest. And that is true of everyone gathered here this day and all of life everywhere. It is true of absolutely everything. There is only this one life in full, glorious, magnificent expression. And so I recognize that we gather here this day as a divine community, as a community of individualized souls, of individualized expressions of light, individualized expressions of love. We choose to gather here this day and every day, to be in community, to be in this conscious union, this holy communion, this common unity with one another. We commit here and now. I recognize that we commit here and now to love one another, to support one another, to encourage one another, to guide and lift each other, to embolden each other, to live our highest potential. That we gather together for personal and global transformation. Because we understand that the truth with a capital T is that there is only one. The love with a capital L is all that there is. That peace is the true nature. That harmony is the true order. And that the divine is all that there is. And so we gather to remember, to reassociate, to come together in this truth, in this knowledge, in this oneness. And to lift, and to raise, and to praise the beauty and the glorious individualized expressions and the whole that is created when we come together. And so I give thanks for our wholeness. I give thanks for the love. I give thanks for the commitment of this beloved community, of this divine community, Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. And the willingness of each one, for the sacred yes of each one who chooses to be part of this divine idea, this divine unfoldment of spirit. I give thanks for it, and I release this word now, knowing that it is done, it is so. I let it be, and so it is.
We are one, we are one, we are all one in God. We are love, we are love, we are all the love of God. Beauty surrounds me, falling at my feet, as I hear the calling of the Holy One in me. We are whole, we are whole, we are all wholeness of God. We are strength, we are strength, we are all the strength of God. Beauty surrounds me, falling at my feet, as I hear the calling of the Holy One in me. We are made, we are made, we are all made of God. We are one, we are one, we are one, we are all one in God. We are, we are, we are, we are, we are one in God. We are, we are, we are, we are, we are, we are one in God. We are.
Thank you. So part of being in community and part of our responsibility of being in community together is our conscious contributions, is that we come together and we contribute to the health and vitality of the community. And one of the ways that we do that is through our conscious contributions, our conscious financial contributions. And so the easiest way to do that is through text to give. Simply type in 951-419-5858. Enter the amount you are choosing to contribute, that you're choosing to consciously contribute, and then hit send. It's just like texting a friend. It's just that easy. Another easy way to do that is to go online to riversidecsl.org, and in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see the word contribute. You can contribute there. If you are here in the sanctuary, right there at the back of the room there's a mirrored vessel there for you. You can easily contribute there if you're here in the room. So there are a multitude of ways of contributing. I'm just seeing the screen flash before me. There are multiple ways of contributing, and we are so grateful. Are you guys grateful? Yeah. You're grateful for everybody's contributions? Yeah. Yes, wonderful. So we are all grateful for your conscious contribution to this beloved community, Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. So let's sing, shall we?
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
Fun. I love the way you just like switch that up. It's like, ooh, this one's got that slow groove to it today, you know. And the others are like, God is my soul. God is my power.
It's whatever groove comes out.
It's whatever groove comes out. I love it. You just tuned right into spirit. It's like, okay, this is the groove today. Awesome. So a few things to share with you before we leave here today. Being in community is also about connection and connecting. And so we have spirit groups starting this week. Eddie, hi. Can you come talk about spirit groups for us? To come share a little bit about spirit groups? So Ed is the coordinator of spirit groups. I guess coordinator would be a good word. Coordinator for spirit groups. And he's going to share with you all of the spirit groups that are starting this week. It is a great way to come together in connection. So go ahead.
Sorry, Donna had to remind me to take off my mask. We have 6 wonderful spirit groups starting this week. Mine was supposed to start today because it's going to be 97 degrees outside. Mine's taking place outside at Labyrinths throughout the valley here, Riverside area. We decided to push it back a week. So mine is called Walking the Path. And it'll actually start next Sunday, and it'll be from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. on every Sunday, and we'll meet at Area Labyrinths and do walking meditation at Area Labyrinths. And then tomorrow night, we have a small group, not a spirit group technically. It is called The Unexpected Path, and it is a group focused on weight loss and healthy eating habits. It'll be facilitated by Sunny Gale, and also, as part of this group, you do have to have a Weight Watchers membership, but it is definitely going to be focused on healthy eating habits and weight loss. And so that could be a really spiritual journey. It'll also be using the book Women, Food, and God by Janine Roth. And that can also look at, I read it before, it was part of a group called Women, Food, and God, even though, man, you don't have to be a woman to participate. But it does look at different spiritual aspects of weight gain and weight loss. So it definitely is a very powerful book to look at. And then on Tuesdays, we have the Green Faith Group that is focused on spirituality within the greater environment and ecology. And that's facilitated by Jeannie and Mike Kataoka. That meets every Tuesday nights. And as part of their group, they do nature hikes, typically every couple of weeks at some beautiful area within the Riverside Valley, a great hike to take with that. And so it's a great way to bond with everybody as well. And then Wednesday, we have our men's group led by Frank Conley. And they will be discussing The Eye of the Storm, a book by Gary Simmons. And it is also a very deep book, leads to a lot of deep discussions. And as part of their group, they also go around different areas within the valley and do some social things like bowling and billiards. And then on Friday nights, we have the women's group led by Francis and Cindy, and they will also be focusing on The Eye of the Storm as well. Again, a deep book that can lead to lots of deep discussion and bonding. So I encourage you all to sign up for
Saturday.
one of the spirit groups. And then Saturday, we have Shawnee's group. Shawnee will be leading a group called The Raven's Call, which is focused on the different seasons. Of course, this time they'll be focusing on fall. And basically how the different seasons affect us spirituality-wise and how the tides of each season affect us. So I think that'll be an amazing group to be a part of because it will be focused on nature and our relationship with nature as well. So those are 6 amazing groups that we have, 5 spirit groups, 1 small group. And I encourage you to sign up. Just go to riversidecsl.org. And last time I said .com, riversidecsl.org, and sign up. You'll find all groups right there.
Great. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
So it's a wonderful way of connecting with folks in our divine beloved community. And then there's another way of connecting with folks. And Dinah, if you want to come up and share. We had a spiritual practices and principles class that we delayed, and so it is actually going to now start again on the 10th. So Dinah, go ahead and share about that.
So it's a great opportunity to learn a little bit more about the principles that we believe in and some of the practices that help us focus on those principles in our lives. And I'm excited to teach it. I have 4 people signed up already, and we are going to be meeting here probably maybe in the community room, but maybe in the office from 11:30 to 2:30 for 5 Sundays. The first 2 will be October 10th and 24th, and then the first 3 Sundays of November. So I hope that some of you will join us.
Right. So another great way of participating in community and being together in community. Leslie, how's your class going? Good? Wonderful. All right. Good. So Leslie is part of our Essential Earnest class. She's taking our Essential Earnest class. And it's great to have you in that class. So great to see you. Thank you. All right. So those are some opportunities to come together in community that are outside of this room or this time and space. So to bond with our community in greater ways. Feels good, doesn't it? Yes. All right. So I'll go ahead and have you stand. I think we're at that point. Yeah, let's go ahead and have you stand if you are able and repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
It is this thing called love.
It is this thing called love.
Love is in my mind.
Love is in my mind.
Love is in my body.
Love is in my body.
Love is in everything I do.
Love is in everything I do.
I am it.
I am it.
I share it.
I share it.
I receive it. And I move love forward. Because love lives here. Let's sing about it, shall we? Here we go.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It's this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it, share it, receive it. And I'm moving forward because love lives here.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It's this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it, I share it, receive it, and I move it forward because love lives here. Oh, love lives here. Okay, you guys gotta do it with me. Ready? I'm gonna lift up my heart and sing right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside. I'm gonna lift up my heart and sing right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside. Yeah! I'm gonna lift up my heart and sing right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside. I'm gonna lift up my heart and sing right here in Riverside, right here in Riverside. Woohoo! Have a great Sunday, you guys. Love